celebrating today. Why? Because it's day 9, of course. Don't you guys celebrate day 9 every year? No? Maybe you should. I think it's great to be alive today on day 9 because day 9 only occurs once a year in January. And I feel very fortunate to be able to share it with all my friends today, especially my new ones that are just joining me on my journey. So I realized something this morning. It was more of an observation, but I just realized a lot of people I know are playing the part of victim really well right now. And I don't mean that in any kind of a derogatory way. It's just a statement of fact that in general, a lot of people feel attacked by the other side, be it the gender war, a political conflict, or just any disagreement that kind of puts us at odds with each other to where one person or both persons feels attacked. When we get like that, we are putting ourselves in the role of victim. And victimhood takes our power away. Not our power to defeat the other person, but our power to have control over ourselves, self-control. In other words, we cannot change how other people feel or their perceptions, but we can change who we are and how we feel and our perceptions. So, over Thanksgiving holiday, there was a moment when within 30 minutes, 3 different people snapped at me angrily. And I was blown away because spontaneous anger is frankly a real trigger for me that initiates in me that normal, healthy response that we all have, fight or flight. Immediately, I felt attacked and became a victim. I went outside and took a deep breath to pause in that moment and to get my thoughts together before I reacted. So a good friend of mine who was also there suggested that instead of running from the situation, I could have reframed it. In other words, what if I looked at that person and instead of saying, "Why are you attacking me?" I said, "I wonder what it is that this person is really upset about." You never really know truly what has triggered the other person's upset. So it's not good to assume that it's always something you did. Once you've asked yourself the question, "I wonder what it is that this person is really upset about," well, then you can look to yourself and say, is there something that I did that may have upset that person? If the answer is yes, then an apology may be in order. But if the answer is no, and you did not intentionally hurt or do anything to the other person unfairly, maybe it was just a classic misunderstanding, then perhaps you should ask yourself, what has triggered this hurt within me? You may find that when you ask these questions, you recognize that there's something inside of you that needs to be healed, and something inside of them that needs to be healed. So first, you go inside, you evaluate your own pain, and you may ask yourself, what was my goal for this situation that just occurred, and what happened when it didn't turn out the way that I expected it to? When you collapse that goal and you confront your own hurt, meditating on it, thinking about what might have actually caused it, then you can heal it. And then that opens a space for love inside of you. And when that happens, you can go back and extend love out to the other person instead of anger or hurt. And guess what? Most likely, when you extend love out to that other person, they'll find a place to heal on their own as well. So by doing this, we heal and they heal. And we become partners in healing, and we're no longer victim and attacker. I get it. This is very outside of the box way of thinking, and in the heat of the moment, we don't always have time to react in this way. It takes practice and a lot of work to be able to get to this mindset where we take control of ourselves in situations and control our own reactions to others. The reality management worksheets that Michael Rice provide help me work through these situations. But there's plenty of other tools that you can reference out there that provide guidance on how to stop being a victim, including books called Codependency No More by Melody Beattie. Now, the more you do that kind of healing work inside of yourself, the easier this becomes. I was reading again today in the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo about fish in the tank and how they perform when they're taken outside of their tank to a larger space. The fish, now in a bathtub, as opposed to their small tank, still swam in an area relative to the size of their tank instead of expanding out. When we take on the roles of victim and attacker, we stop exploring other possibilities in the world around us about how to behave, think, and feel, as opposed to just what society tells us are the appropriate reactions. We are still living inside our tank instead of being open to the limitless possibilities that the universe provides for us. When we begin to make choices for ourselves based on an understanding that what we perceive is almost always based on who we are, we begin to see those possibilities more clearly. Our story is often generated by our internal pain that needs healing, and that is outside of the box thinking. So as you go out in the world today, what can you do or say differently when someone becomes upset with you? One of my favorite musical artists is a DJ named Grizz. He's playing in the background. He has this amazing song called No, K-N-O-W, Time Like the Present. It basically just speaks to the fact that the universe is immense and we are immense within it. In other words, there are no limitations on how we can think about things because the universe doesn't put any limitations on us. So, as you go throughout your day today, remember these words. And you know what I'm going to say next, so if you want, say it with me. Pause and be gentle to yourself and others.